In today's video, I want to talk about why some people just blow up so fast, become successful with their business or on social media or whatever so freaking fast and others don't. And I really could analyze that looking backwards, also looking backwards on my life, analyzing the situations where I experienced success relatively fast in specific areas where other people were thinking, how did she make that so fast? How was that possible? And it's really one thing at the end of the day that makes it possible to experience success in whatever area, in sports, business, social media, whatever it may be. It's one thing that enables you to have success there in all of these areas in such a short time frame where everyone else starts to think, how the heck was he able to do that in that time frame? How is that even possible? Right? And today I want to share that one thing with you, and I also want to share how you can get that one thing going for you. This one thing, I will reveal it right now, is called momentum. What is momentum? If you think of a train and the train is standing still, and now you want to get it moving, okay? You, for example, have 10 people, 10 very strong men who can get the train moving. In the beginning, it's super hard to push the train. It's almost impossible. Everyone is putting in all their power, and the train is almost not moving at all. It's like moving 1 millimeter per minute. It's like almost not moving it at all. But the 10 men are very strong. They keep on pushing. And after a while, you see that the wheels start turning faster, and the train starts moving a little bit faster, but still, it's immensely hard to push that train. So it's going forward. But after a while, after the train is going faster and faster, the men who are pushing the train have a very easy job. Because once the train is going at a specific speed, it has what's called momentum. And now it's not hard to push it anymore. It's way easier to push it right now. What would be hard now is to stop it. And that is momentum, where the train has now momentum going for it, and it's relatively easy to keep it going relative to how hard it was to get it going. And now it's relatively hard to stop again. And it's the same thing in business, in sports, social media, all of these things. Okay? In the beginning, when you start to push towards that goal, okay? Let's say your goal is to make 10K a month with your business, whatever it may be, or 100K a month. And you start to push towards that goal. In the beginning, it's super hard because you need to close your first client, and that takes time, and that is super hard. And oh my God, how should I close a client when I never had a client before with no testimonials and all of that? And it's super hard. You need a lot of strength, a lot of willpower, a lot of time, energy to get that going, that thing. And then maybe, let's say you close your first client and it gets easier. Okay, you have the cash flow going, you can reinvest that cash flow into marketing or advertising for your service or whatever you do, and that is great. And then maybe you even, because you delivered good work, get a referral from that client, and now things are going on their own. It's like momentum. Okay, so now you have 2 clients because the first client referred you to another business that also needs your service. And it wasn't as hard as getting the first client. That was a nightmare. It took you so much work, time, and effort to get that first client. And now you just get a referral from that business. And now you have a second client without any work at all, right? And that is really because you built up the momentum. You have put in the work. And that is a very important part, because this is really a time where many aspiring entrepreneurs fail forever because they give up. Okay? Because it's super important to know that it will not be this hard forever. It's just in the beginning, when you build up that momentum, that is the hardest part ever. That is the hardest part. From then on, if you make smart moves, it will be way easier. It will be hard to stop. Okay. But you have to know that, because if you don't know that, you think it's gonna be this hard forever. But that's not true. It's only this hard until you get the train going. Once the train is going, things start to get way easier. And I think that is really a super valuable thing to know. So yeah, that is pretty much it. And really, you have momentum in any kind of endeavor. You have that in business. I just made that example. You have that with your personal life, with your habits, whatever. You want to implement a new habit. Getting up at 5:30 and going to the gym right in the morning. Super hard for the first 3 days, probably, if you haven't never done it before. If you're going with this for 2 months, it will be hard to not do it, right? So this is just momentum, and this is such a magnificent thing when it comes to success in life. And I will talk about how to build up momentum in a second, even though I already displayed it in some of the examples. But I will really step by step go through how to build up momentum in your life. So really applicable, so how you can do it for everyone watching right now. But for now, for me personally, and maybe this is relevant to some of you, I value momentum over a lot of things. When I am going with something, then it's super important for me to really not take breaks, and I value that a lot, because often when things are going for you and now you feel nice, you feel good, you had some successes and you want to celebrate it. And that is right, the trap. That is the devil's trap, because you had some successes, you want to celebrate, and now what do? Even though you probably earn to celebrate, what you do is you destroy the momentum. Oftentimes, if you're smart, you can celebrate fast, celebrate without throwing off your momentum. If you're smart, you can do that. But many people, once they reach a certain level, because they had momentum going for them, they relax. They just slack for a week, for a month, some for a year. Okay, they just slack. And what happens, you destroy that momentum, and then after that, you have to start build up the momentum again from zero, which is super hard, okay? So one of the best things is to just keep going in these times where it's going well. And that is what most people don't do. Most people, when it goes well, they step back. They take the foot off the gas, okay? And there are very few people, when it's really going well, that keep the foot on the gas. And that is what momentum is all about, okay? So now, how can you build up momentum in your life, applicable to really your situation as fast as possible? So there are two things. One is to look backwards into your past and really analyze what were phases in your life where you had things going for you, where you felt like that you are in control of your life. You are on top of things. What kind of phases were that? When was that? And then analyze in those phases where you were on top of things, you experienced success in that phase or right after that phase. What have you done during that phase? What were your daily habits? When did you get up? Who did you talk to? All of these things. Go back, analyze that, and write that down. Okay, really, who did you talk to? What audiobooks did you listen to? When did you get up? What exercises have you done in terms of the gym? What work tasks did you do? All of these things. Really write down what you have done in that phase, and then try to find out what these key things that help you to build momentum are for you personally, because it is different for everyone. There's no one fits all solution. I can't tell you right now, do this, and this will be the perfect solution for you. Now you got momentum. Now I can give you an example. I can give you, what I personally like to do. And this will probably also work for many of you. But as I said, everyone is different, and everyone needs his or her own solution for this, his or her own daily tasks and rules to build up some momentum. Okay, so that's the first thing. Really analyze your past and try to find out what were the things that got you into your momentum. And now, second thing is, how would I build up momentum as a guide for someone who really never had a phase in their life that was somehow successful, which I don't think, if you're watching this video right now, that this is the case. You will find something if you look backwards into your past. But how could you do it? Plug and play, very simple. So there are a few key things that really seem to make a big positive difference for almost anybody. And the first one is getting up early and at the same time every day. And I don't care what early means for you. Early doesn't mean 4:30. Early can mean 7:30 for you. I don't care. But then do this every day and stick to it consistently. So that is important. And then doing one thing that you really like right in the morning. Because if you get up and start with a task that you hate, you don't want to get up and you don't sleep that well and it's all horrible. So first thing in the morning, I would really do something that you like. So for me, it's hitting the gym. Right in the morning when I wake up, I just hit the gym, okay? I love that. It's also good for my body to work out in the morning, not in the evening. It's better for me. And so that's what I do. I wake up, some straight rush into work, but I don't like to do that. I wake up, hit the gym first thing in the morning, usually. And then once I finish that, I take myself 30 minutes of journaling, sometimes shorter, but it's always a little block of journaling where I just write down some strategies, some plans, some thoughts that I have. Usually it's some strategies for the business that just came into my mind. So I use this creativity in the morning to strategize for my business and make a plan, make a step-by-step plan to achieve the next goal or refine the plan and all of these things. So that's what I do. And then it's super important to find out for the next task what your current goal is. And how can you break your goal down into daily tasks? So what are these daily tasks? It's probably 1 to 3 tasks that you do every day that gets you closer to your goal. And I would really, that is one of the most important things. Just break the goal down into 1 to 3 daily tasks that you do every day, and then take 2 to 4 hours of focused work and do these things. These are the important things. So I can make a video on planning how to actually achieve goals. So how to break down a big goal into small action steps and them into day-by-day tasks on so how you can actually achieve a goal. Okay, I can do a video on that if you want that, like a goal planning video, a goal setting and actually breaking it down into step-by-step tasks and daily tasks. If you want that video, just comment down below and I'll shoot a video on that. But for now, if you have those daily tasks, those 1 to 3 MMAs, probably money-making activities, then go into them for 2 to 4 hours, focused work, and then you already won the day. What you do for the rest of the day doesn't really matter too much, as long as you don't fuck up the momentum and drink 10 beers or whatever. Like, just joking, but you know what I mean. So this is pretty much it. And it's also very important to keep these things simple, because many people overcomplicate it and then try to structure their whole day perfectly with 1,100 tasks, and that doesn't work. Because even if you make it really accomplish all these tasks one day, and even the second and the third day, probably on the fourth day you will slack because it was too much. And maybe right now some of you understand something, because I was the same. I made the perfect plan with 100 tasks for the day that would get me to my goal within 2.5 weeks, which was stupid. Just break the goal down in a realistic time frame, and it will probably take you even longer than the time that you expect, but it's okay, because probably the goal that you get from it is still absolutely worth it. Working 10 times longer than you expect for it, okay? And then just breaking it down into simple MMAs that you do daily for 2 to 4 hours of focused work. You can get so much done in 2 to 4 hours of focused work with no interruptions, no phone on flight mode, and not communicating with anyone, not taking any meetings, just really focused work on those things. You can get so much done, and then you already won the day, and then you take care of everything else, okay? Then you can take care of social life, other tasks that are not directly getting you to your goal that you always do later in the day when there's still time left. So that is how I would do it. As I said, best way is really to look into your past. What were the phases in your life where you had things going for you, where you really achieved a lot? What have you been doing in these phases on a daily basis? Who have you been communicating with? And so on. And yeah, I also talked about some basic things everyone can use to build up momentum, which is really one of the main reasons why some people blow up so fast and become successful so fast, at least in my opinion, and at least that has been the case for me in my life. So far, so good. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. It was a pleasure. If you have recommendations for other topics that I should make videos on, then comment down below. And I'll leave you with this. Remember, if you're watching this right now, then you are on the right path. Keep going. Thank you.